The always cool, calm, supremely confident Acelino Freitas facing his second left-hander. Freitas forces the fight from the start. The quick southpaw Attah, #1 WBO contender. He's a kind of a cute stylist, awkward, tricky fighter. Keeps a fast pace and throws a lot of punches. There's the bell. Round 1 scheduled for 12. Freitas wearing the colors of Brazil. The green, gold, and blue, and then Daniel Attah from Nigeria wearing the black with the white trim. Attah, the southpaw. No punches thrown as of yet.
Both fighters showing maybe too much respect for one another.
Major feeling out situation early on, but here goes Freitas. It didn't take him that long, just about 15 seconds.
Worked a couple of nice body shots, went over the top of the right hand, which didn't land, but the body shots were pretty good.
Freitas really established himself as a fine overall, all-around boxer in his last 2 fights, aside from just being a power puncher.
I completely agree with you, especially in the Casimir fight, where he put on strength and power early to gain a little bit of a lead, then boxed late to keep his lead, won by the slightest of margins, but showed he can box and punch. Well-rounded fighter.
4-0 versus southpaws, 12 of his 29 knockouts in the first, and he averages just over 3 rounds per bout. He's got a wicked right hand and a big left hook to the body. And he can throw the uppercut. He has looked almost frightening at times. But we've seen more jabs of late, more boxing, more movement, not as hurried. If he had any problem, it's with his weight, maintaining the weight, although lately under Oscar Suarez and a nutritionist, no problem.
Oscar Suarez, I know Oscar Suarez over 20 years. I know Oscar Suarez so long, I weighed less than Freitas.
That is long.
That is a long time.
2 fights now under the very affable Oscar Suarez, who's been working more on Freitas' speed. Well, he clearly has the power part down. Closing in on 1 minute remaining in the first. A lot of those punches were blocked with a good right hand counter by Attah.
Attah right now seems content to make Freitas move in, make him make the first commitment and counter.
Freitas said after tonight he wants 1 more fight this year, then begin 2003 getting ready for Floyd Mayweather Jr. Smacking punches upstairs to the ears by Freitas. First the right, then the left. A straight right hand to the nose by Freitas.
Nice straight right hand lead there. It looked like it really bothered Attah a little too much. Didn't seem like a big right hand, but just seemed like it bothered Attah.
Attah leading with his head there, and Freitas comes busting through.
Hold it, stop. Stop.
Oscar Suarez and Acelino Freitas very cognizant of the fact that Attah does come in with his head. Well, that was a good right uppercut by Freitas on the inside, with Attah digging his head to the neck of Freitas.
Attah does come down with his head straight down, and I'll tell you, it's also dangerous. You get hit on top of that, it can hurt.
Our translator for Freitas is Aníbal Miramontes.
We just broke the ice. Now we need to be a lot quicker. Let's move to the side. Don't get too confident. 1, 2, 3 is perfect. We need to try to go straight with the straight right hand. Don't trust him when he's coming straight. He's coming with the head first.
Tudo bem? Excelente. Bom marcação a ele para tua mão direita. Ok?
Está esperando por los derechos.
Attah, when he comes in, he leans down with his head and his shoulder. There you see him with his head and his shoulder, just ducking down and sort of charging. That's dangerous for headbutts, dangerous for cuts, and sometimes can be, deemed illegal when you leave your head that blatant.
We'll see how referee Bobby Ferreira handles it from this point on, if it becomes a factor. 12 of Freitas' 29 knockouts in the first, 19 within 2 rounds.
There you see that counter right hook that Attah's trying to use. Step back, let Freitas come in and whack him with the right hook and maybe the left hand, but not being very effective as of yet.
Attah doesn't have much punching power. He does have a questionable chin, and he has a tendency to drop his hands. So I'm sure Freitas on the lookout for that. Again, Freitas complaining of the head following the good flurry. Straight right hand by Freitas, blocked by the gloves of Attah. And now Attah comes forward, but no damage.
Okay, stop punching.
Freitas is connecting with that short uppercut on the inside.
Well, once again, Attah keeps leaning in with his head, not his hands in front of it, and that uppercut's going to be dangerous.
In case you're wondering, Freitas, even with the great record, has been on the canvas a couple of times, both in the first round, but of course came back to win. Attah's been down a few times, coming back to win.
That's a second warning. You hit on a break. Second time.
Second warning, says Bobby Ferreira to Freitas for hitting on the break. One more, he can lose a point. Midway through the second. Body shots it upstairs. Beautiful fusillade of punches by Freitas.
Nice body shots, and then he didn't let the head go. He worked that body and worked up the stairs to the head, making sure if those hands come down, he gets a clean shot at the jaw.
A lot of movement by Freitas. Good footwork. Held back on the uppercut. Well, he just rears back and fires.
Come on.
You know, sometimes strength and power are very difficult to gauge when you're watching tapes until you get in there, and I think Attah might really have a good idea now exactly what he's in for.
I'm sure he is feeling the power of Freitas. It's not only the power, Bobby, but the accuracy of his punches.
And he's very strong. His body's imposing, steps forward, bends. It's strong. I got right hand to the body.
That was a gorgeous shot. Oh, right hand out of nowhere by Attah that swung Freitas around.
A cute right hook, a nice right hook counter, something he needs to do.
With about 40 seconds on the clock in round two, Attah landed, but Freitas seems undaunted by it.
Hold it.
Either that or he's a good actor.
Come on, Acelino.
20 seconds left in the second. Big right hand offered up by Attah that certainly got the attention of the champion. Look at these shots by Freitas digging to the body. Attah's game.
Stop.
Come on, Daniel. Give me that water. Daniel, come on. Come on, Daniel. You got to use jab, Daniel. Come on now. Get off the damn rope, okay?
Breathe in, baby. Sit down. Attah, you're waiting too much.
Come on, Daniel. Come on, suck it up. You got a good jab, Daniel. You got a good jab. You got to use it, okay?
Exhale. Listen to him.
Take a couple looks at that right hand. He likes to throw it to the body, but he also likes to throw it up top. That one is grazed, and there was a nice, sharp right hook counter by the challenger.
He is tricky.
Well, you know what it is? His speed and timing. As you watch, you see, opening his stance wide open, did Freitas, and he's just swinging, not looking. And Attah just stepped in quick, short, and sharp.
Okay? And defense.
Move side to side. All right, make a miss.
Look at his left side. Look at his left side.
Mark Johnson and company of that Attah corner want to see more boxing from Attah. They want to see more jabbing and more movement as we swing it around three.
And he wants to get him. He wants him to get off the ropes and step to the side and counter with that right hook again.
Attah from Cross River State, Nigeria, making his home these days in Washington, D.C. 20-0-1. One no contest with 8 knockouts. This is round 3 scheduled for 12 for the WBA and WBO Junior Lightweight Championship.
So part of the problem Attah's having right now is that Freitas works when he wants to work and then rests, and Attah doesn't press him. Especially big punchers use a lot of energy to throw those power trails. When they stop punching, you have to have something in their face.
Attah wearing the black trim with white doesn't seem at all in awe of the 2-belt champion, Acelino Freitas, wearing the green, blue, and gold. And he certainly hasn't had the quality of opposition that Freitas has had. Freitas, my goodness, coming off a fight with one of the best men in the world, left-handers, Joel Casamayor.
Watch the feet.
And that was no easy feat in beating the slick left-hander.
That's the second time that the challenger stepped on the champion's foot. He pointed it out to him both times. They touched gloves.
Hold.
Sort of interesting.
No wrestle.
Well, if you're Freitas against a southpaw, you want to keep your lead foot outside the lead foot of the left-hander. And of course, you want to move to your left if you're the conventional right-handed fighter. to try to stay away from the southpaw's power. Good snapping left jab there by Freitas. And then again to the body. Right hand over the top by Attah, followed by a straight left. And Freitas complaining that they clashed heads.
They did bang heads, but that was unintentional. And then, to his credit, Daniel Attah hit him, which would be the right thing to do.
Well, as long as the referee isn't in there to break it up, you just continue to fight.
Protect yourself at all times. That's the phrase.
It sounds like a cliche, but it really works.
What I'd like to see Freitas do, as I see it, in the middle here, Attah's keeping his body open a little bit, but he's widening his elbows out. I think some right uppercuts up the middle would behoove the champion. Maybe would get the job done a little better.
I don't think this is any kind of a surprise for Freitas. They knew that they had a tough cookie in front of them in Attah. I mean, they're so confident in victory, but they knew that Attah's not just going to lay down. He may not be as experienced as Freitas, but he does have some good experience. And he just got rocked with a right hand at Attah. And now Freitas trying to pounce on him with Attah against the right. Back comes Attah with a right hook at the bell. Attah has a lot of resolve.
One of the things I always talk about, look at the feet. Look at the feet right here. He's going to step right on his foot. Boom, right there. See his foot? Steps on it, and you know what that does is it gives him no balance here. And a lot of times when a guy gets hit like that, he can go down because his foot's anchored and the other one's trying to bend out. Watch the heads clash on the inside. Here comes right there, charging head down right into the mouth of the champion. Attah hit him squarely in the lips. The end of the round, Freitas on charge again, gets hit with a right hook on the top of the temple, and the round ended. But he's not throwing enough, though. He's just not throwing.
Attah's most dangerous punch may be with his head. Round 4 scheduled for 12. Attah has unleashed a couple of real strong right hands in this fight. The most recent one just before the bell to end round 3. The crowd here in the Dodge Theater in Phoenix, roughly 2,500. Appreciative of the action and the pace of the first 3+ rounds. Good right hand by Freitas sends the challenger back.
Attah's pretty awkward, and he slips and slides, and being a southpaw, he has different angles. Hard to hit him very cleanly, and his defense is pretty good.
Attah coming in with a very quiet confidence. He's a very spiritual, religious young man. Does a lot of Bible studying. Goes to prayer meetings.
Don't forget, you don't just have 2 fighters fighting for a title here. You have 2 fighters that want to represent a country well, and a lot of pride on the line here.
And the prophet, Daniel Attah, very aware of his country's boxing history. 3 world champions from Nigeria. Hogan, Kid Bassi, Dick Tiger, Herbie High. And Attah would dearly love to be the 4th, but it's going to be, as mentioned earlier, a monumental upset should he pull it off. 3 world champions from Brazil. You're looking at one of them in the green.
Attah's not known for his power. He's not going to get Freitas out here with 1 punch or 1 combination, and he's just not working. He's not outworking Freitas at all.
Eder Joffre, Miguel de Oliveira are the 2 previous world champions from Brazil. A charging Acelino Freitas had Attah turned around and he hit him.
No problem.
If you notice, an earlier Acelino Freitas might already be a little more frustrated, throwing and wasting punches. Here you see someone who's resolved the box, do what he has to do.
Good sportsmanship by
slipped on the ring apron.
as Freitas tried to help him up. Well, his leg just went flying off the apron of the ring.
What I was talking about was Freitas becoming a much more well-rounded fighter, learning the box. He has to go to distance, not be frustrated, and continue with a good plan. Freitas ripping to the body. Back came Attah with a right hand, but missed. That seems to be the only answer Attah has, is a big right-hand counter when Acelino drops his left hand, but not much else.
Let him go. Come on.
An awkward fight with a lot of head clashing with the southpaw Attah. A ripping body shot with the right hand by Freitas. It's like a windmill sometimes. Freitas with some beautiful countering. That time at the bell, Attah missed with the right. And Freitas hears it from the crowd and his wife, Eliana.
Respira. Tranquilo.
Anibal Miramontes, our translator.
That was beautiful.
Puxa, solta entre os dentes a primeira vez.
You need to go first. You need to go first.
Agora solta de uma vez.
Now you need to put the straight right hand.
Ok, Popovicito, estamos excelentes. Tú viste cuando usted se cierra y pone la
We're
presión
doing
aquí,
great. You
él
see
no sabe
when
qué
you...
hacer, le trata de virarse. So, vamos a hacerlo de vez en cuando para entrar con recta primero, directa y gancho, ciego. Okay?
Watch Daniel Attah's foot as he backs up to the ropes. Just comes right out from under him and just slides right practically out of the ring. Look at it from overhead. Watch his left foot going back. He just hits the corner of the canvas and slides right out.
And then to Freitas' credit, he helped him back in.
That was nice of him.
Round 5, scheduled for 12 for the WBA and WBO 130-pound championships. Freitas was the WBO champ before beating Joel Casamayor back in January in Las Vegas before a disappointing crowd. And into the WBA crowd. Now he's defending both titles against Daniel Attah. Attah in the black trunks. Good countering right hand across the face by Freitas.
And before that, there was a nice right upcut, and there again, he maybe hurt me, I don't know. Or maybe somebody in his corner saw the same thing I did.
Freitas going to the body.
So when you go to the body like that, Steve, wide on both sides, every time 3 or 4 punches, almost subconsciously the fighter thinks the next one's going to be wide. That's where plates is his hands. You come up the middle, could catch him by surprise.
Body shots are so effective, particularly when they're so hard. As you take a look at press row scoring, all for Freitas by the same exact scores. Scott Bordows from the Arizona Tribune, Norm Kronheim from the Arizona Republic, Andy Rivera, BoxingTalk.com.
It's been pretty easy to score this one so far. Freitas has just won every round. Attah not outworking him, not outlanding him, not really getting the job done.
And if the fight should go deep, those body shots accumulate. Stiff left jab. That is not a probing jab, a range-finding jab. That is a weapon by Freitas. Those are hurtful punches. Freitas certainly of the mind, go to the body and the head will fall should the fight go on.
Even if the head doesn't fall, it also helps take away the legs of a fighter that has to move like this. And if he can't move and he can't punch with a guy like Freitas, he's got a problem.
Freitas stalking the challenger now, and Attah seems to have run out of some gas. His pace has slowed. And let's see if Freitas jumps on him and takes advantage. I think suddenly Attah is tired.
I don't think it's so much he's tired as those body shots are starting to weaken him, Steve.
Yep. Well, that's what we were talking about up to this point. Those body punches really taking it out of Attah. And it's only round 5. Attah being worn down systematically here, methodically. Look at these body whacks by Freitas.
And trust me, some of those body shots hurt more than a clean shot to the jaw.
But Attah gamely firing back but missing most of the time. Let's go to Jim Gray.
All right, we are behind the scenes here. As you can see, Mrs. Freitas she cannot bear to watch this fight right now. She's very nervous about what is going on. So she is getting a report from people who are in Acelino's corner. They come out and tell her she is just way too nervous to watch this fight. She got up and walked out. If we turn around, you can see the proximity of where she is now, back in the back corridor here. Hello, everyone. You look out right here to the right. There's the ring. She'll get a round-by-round report. And unfortunately, she doesn't speak English, so she can't understand you, Steve. Out to you.
Well, that might be a break for her, but that's a dramatic shot. As you see the tremendous support that Freitas brings with him here from Brazil. But a very dramatic shot backstage. That's not the first time we've seen that with Eliana. She does find it difficult to watch her husband in fights. She'll be there before the fight and after the fight, but during the fight it's a different story, and it's understandable. She gets very emotional. They've been married about a year, a wedding that was televised in Brazil to show you the popularity of Acelino Freitas.
I think she did try at one time to sit ringside and watch it, but she just couldn't stand it. You know, I can understand that. I fought for years. I watched my brothers fight. It was like having several heart attacks per day. I couldn't do it.
It is really tough for the family members. Round 6, scheduled for 12 for the WBA and WBO 130-pound championships. Another wicked right-hand body shot by Freitas. Freitas missing with the straight right hand, a countering right hook there by Attah, but not doing much damage.
See, Freitas, too, is leaning out with his head like that and making some of those punches look harder than they are.
Whoops, the lights go out in Phoenix. And thank goodness they stopped punching. That could have really been dangerous, particularly with the power of Freitas. We have had a power failure here at the Dodge Theater
I feel like I'm in Ocean's 11.
Yeah, that's right. Hold on to your wallet.
Somebody's getting robbed.
The night the lights went out in Phoenix, and it was a short delay. The lights go right back on. They touch gloves, and we continue. There's an oddity. That usually just happens in the movies.
A new boxing first.
Trying to think if I've ever seen. I think it's happened once before. Once again, Attah's left leg goes off the ring apron. That's the second time in 2 rounds. Must be awfully slippery there, but it only seems to happen to Attah, not Freitas.
Well, he's got a wide stance, and sometimes he just backs up too quickly all the way through the ropes. Doesn't really have a good understanding of where his feet are.
Then again, also, he's the one who's going backwards for the most part, and not Freitas. So he would be the one going out of the ring. We approach the final minute of round 6.
Attah not really throwing any punches at all here, offering up almost zero in the way of offense.
We had a 20-second untimely timeout there for the power outage, so it wasn't that bad. Fortunately, nobody was in the middle of a punch when the lights went out. That could have been damaging. Again, hard body shots by Freitas. He's just teeing off with that right hand. Now upstairs.
And you know what? To his credit, Freitas does what he wants when he wants, and Attah won't even punch back.
Here comes Attah with a little bit of a flurry, but Freitas able to wiggle out of that one. Final seconds, round 6.
Hold it, Acelino. Let him go. Come on.
Freitas having some fun. And a right hand that got in before the bell by Freitas. So round 6 is in the books. What happened with the power outage? Well, let's hope Jim Gray can shed some light. Bobby Chez's scorecard is a shutout.
Oh, it couldn't be anything but. Attah has not really offered up much offense in the past few rounds. More and more defense. I think the body shots are really being the difference.
So Freitas winning every round from this vantage point, 10-9. Round 7 scheduled for 12. The WBA and WBO 130-pound titles at stake. Acelino, Popo, Freitas in the green. Daniel Attah, the left-hander from Nigeria, in the black. Attah missing with the right, but connecting with the left hand. And look out! Bobby Ferreira never stopped the action, so Freitas kept fighting unless he said something.
I didn't see the referee say anything.
I didn't either.
But Attah turned away, and you can't do that. Well, you shouldn't do that.
No, you shouldn't do that because you're going to get tagged. Freitas 31-0 with 29 knockouts. He won his first 29 by knockout. Attah 20-0-1, one no contest, just 8 knockouts. So Freitas is certainly not concerned with Attah's power.
Now he's shown he's not a big puncher, especially not one punch, but he needs to throw combinations, and he's not really doing it.
This is Freitas' 8th defense of the WBO title, his first defense of the WBA.
Hold it. Come on. Pick it up.
We want to credit our technicians for putting on the backup power so quickly when we had that power failure. Good job, guys.
Freitas trying to time Attah coming in, make him miss with an overhand left, and counter him with the right hand, both of them missing though.
It is possible, as Jim Gray pointed out, that the heat had some impact on the lights. It's about 102 outside, but building officials claim it's only 70 degrees inside. It does feel a lot warmer than that. And I'll say this, the heat is really on Daniel Attah. You also have those television lights up above the ring, which adds to it.
All right, let's break. Come on.
See Attah just loading up with that right hand.
Blood around the nose of Acelino Freitas on the right side of his face. I'm not sure where it's coming from. Boy, Attah with some right hands there.
He caught Freitas loading up one of those right hands. He walked into a right hook counter.
Attah feeling a power surge himself. Then a body shot by Acelino Freitas with a right hand. Again, taking some steam out of the challenger.
You know what? You can knock him out, baby. You can knock him out. Just relax.
Hold this here.
The table? Profit, man. We got a table.
One guy talks. Nigeria watching you, everybody watching. You know what we said when you first got with me? The head of the table, this is our opportunity. You would prophesize get hit of the table. Get the head of the table, you got to win this championship. Then you got to knock him out the winner.
Here, spit over here. Strong, ain't you? Ain't you strong?
You strong, baby?
Use your jab. Breezy. Use your jab. And I
The only answer Attah seems to have is right hook counter punches coming in. Then there's one right hook. It lands flush. Doesn't seem to do a lot of damage. Then later, again, counter right hook. There it is. Right on the jaw. But again, he's not a big puncher. It's a quick shot. Snaps Freitas' head a little bit. But this is not a devastating blow, and it's one at a time.
Little abrasion under the right eye of Acelino Freitas. Nothing to be concerned about. It's under the eye. It has been a dominating performance throughout by the champion, Acelino Freitas. As we enter round 8, Attah has basically been a one-handed fighter. He has barely thrown his left. It's been his right hand that has done any damage against Freitas.
It might just be a coincidence, but the right hand to the body by Freitas is underneath the left hand of Attah, and he's keeping it there to block the body shots.
Jab up top, Daniel.
Blood from Freitas' face. A little blood from the left nostril now. Not sure if it's the result of a punch or the several headbutts and shoulders by Attah. Now Freitas wipes off some of the blood from his nose, but he goes right back to it. He has been the aggressor, effective aggressor throughout. Ring generalship, landing the cleaner punches. He's done it all. Crisp, accurate shots to the body and head by Freitas.
You see Attah just sitting there, blocking, eating a few, blocking, not offering up much. No way to win a fight. There has to be a sense of urgency in his corner. His corner said you have to knock him out. Doesn't appear to be trying.
Attah's first world title shot. It's a tough one. the midway point, round 8, scheduled for 12. Freitas again coming forward, dictating the tempo. Here's that stiff left jab and a good straight left hand there by Attah.
Yeah, there's one of
a rare left
hands we haven't seen that in a long time.
I think it surprised Freitas, but Freitas marching forward again. Just taking Attah from one side of the ring to the other and flinging rights and lefts in the direction of the challenger, and most of them getting through. Back comes Attah briefly, and then a wild swing, and Freitas, to his credit, could have continued punching there, but he backed off.
I have to be honest with you, I would have probably tried to reach around and hit him in the face, because that part isn't illegal, but the referee would probably have a problem.
I'll tell you what, he is a sportsman. Acelino Freitas. He could have really jumped all over Attah there. Attah nails Freitas with an overhand right or a right hook in this case for the southpaw.
All right, I got it. Stop.
As we head for the bell, round 8. Well, the Showtime boxing schedule, a busy one all this month of August. Let's break it down for you. Saturday, August 10th, 5 p.m. Eastern Pacific. Showbox, the new generation, returns with a 12-round junior featherweight bout. Fabio Oliva versus Omar Adorno. Saturday, August 17th, 10 p.m. Eastern and Pacific. Showtime Championship Boxing heads to the UK as Joe Calzaghe defends his WBO super middleweight crown against Miguel Jimenez. That's from Cardiff, Wales. And Saturday, August 24th, 5 p.m. Eastern and Pacific, Showbox, the new generation, brings you a 10-round welterweight bout as Kermit Cintron faces Ian McKillop. Then later that same night at 10 p.m. Eastern and Pacific, we come to you from San Juan, Puerto Rico for the WBA featherweight title as Derek Gaynor battles Daniel Attah. Action-packed month of boxing right here on Showtime. Nice crowd on hand here in the Valley of the Sun, the Dodge Theater, Phoenix, Arizona, as we head into round 9 of this WBA/WBO 130-pound championship. Acelino Freitas in the green with gold and blue versus the challenger, left-hander Daniel Attah, the black with white trim. It has been all Acelino Freitas.
Hold it. I got it.
He has won every round. No knockdowns.
There are points in time when Attah looks so defensive, Steve. It looks like he's just trying to survive, not necessarily boxing and counterpunching, but just trying to survive and not get knocked out. Sometimes there are fighters that just won't get knocked out.
Could be a combination of the body punches by Acelino Freitas and the heat starting to wear Attah down, which is so expected. Freitas' last 2 fights have gone the distance. His first 29 by knockout, another check of press throw, all Freitas.
Let him go, Daniel.
But somebody has given the challenger some rounds.
Wow, I'm in shock.
Storm Froheim from the Arizona Republic and Scott Bordeaux from the Arizona Tribune. 1 to Attah, 1 even, and Froheim has given 2 to Attah. Interesting.
I'm sure I can't justify either of those scorecards, but
Andy Rivera from BoxingTalk.com has given every round but 1 to Freitas, 1 even.
Attah's in trouble now. He got hurt to the body and then an uppercut. He got really hurt to the body, Steve.
And Freitas pouring it on. He's got Attah pinned up against the side ropes. A whacking left hook by Freitas. Under a minute left in 9. And Attah in a defensive posture right now, just looking to hang on. Every once in a while he'll throw something,
Hold it. Come on.
but not often enough.
Appeared to be a little possible blood on the right eye of Attah.
To add to his woes. And a left uppercut on the chin by Freitas. The blood now on the face of Freitas.
All right, hold it. I got it.
But it's from the nose of Acelino. Coming out of his nostril. Good left hand there by Attah. Not much steam behind it, but it connected.
Right, it connected flush, but there's no real power there. I mean, too little, too late.
It didn't really affect Freitas. Final seconds. Freitas just takes a step back now, and it's target practice for Acelino. And he just pushes Attah across the ring at the bell.
Easy. You got to do something to try to win, though, man, okay? You ain't trying to win. You just in there.
I know, one second. Listen to me very carefully. The guy, you're already into the fight. You can't feel his power already.
Get the other arm.
Okay, let's work more now. Okay? Give me one good body shot in the middle. One good body shot right over here, okay? Come in. Okay, ready? You'll give it to her?
Okay, Popo, listen to me now. We're going to concentrate. The hook needs to come really fast after the right hand. We need to try to hit it in the place that he's not watching you. That's what I want. Listen. We're winning. He's losing every round.
Round 10. I'll tell you one thing, even though Freitas is dominating, Attah showing he's just one rugged guy.
He's tough and he's awkward and he's cagey.
Southpaw style certainly is somewhat of an advantage, but apparently not enough against a power puncher and a skilled technician like Freitas. A little backhand move there by Freitas.
Hold it, hold it,
looking to set up his right.
Oscar Suarez was telling Freitas in Spanish that they're looking to time his right hand, try and hit him with something he's not expecting, which probably not bad advice.
Freitas is an excellent counter puncher. He doesn't have a bad lead right, too. We'll see if Attah unleashes the right and Freitas is able to counter. There was a lead right that just missed by Freitas. A grazing blow past the right jaw of Attah. And a right uppercut to the midsection, a low blow by Freitas. And he'll get a bit of a caution from the referee, Bobby Ferrara.
Timeout.
He's going to give Attah a little time to recover.
1 point.
And he's taking a point away from Freitas.
1 point. 1 point. Too many times. That's 3 times.
Well, he tells Freitas that's 3 times he did that.
Stay right there.
So he's deducting a point from Freitas. It's academic, inconsequential.
That's the 3rd time he hit him low?
I don't remember it, to be honest with you.
I don't remember 2 warnings for low. I remember one he's hitting on the break. But now Attah's going to milk this.
I think what he's doing is adding together other infractions, but I don't think it was low blows. I think there's a variety of infractions that he may be referring to.
Ready to continue?
That makes some sense.
Okay. Are you okay?
You have up to 5 minutes to recover if you are the victim. And
you're ready? Go over that corner.
if you can't recover in 5 minutes, you automatically lose. It's about 50 seconds thus far.
Time in.
So just 53 seconds of recovery time needed by Daniel Attah. Round 10, scheduled for 12. A whacking right hook there to the head by Attah. Every once in a while, he squeezes one of those through. And then Freitas answers with combinations and hard ones.
I think Attah was milking that foul for as much time as he could get.
And now, Attah dancing around up on his toes.
Again, Steve, he's not doing anything. He's not doing anything that's going to make him win the fight.
And Freitas all over Attah. The awkward Attah hitting the Freitas behind the head, and he didn't get a rabbit punch, and he didn't get a warning. Right. But he's got other problems to deal with here. Like a swarming, smothering champion, Acelino Freitas. No let up from the champion. He's in great condition, obviously. Good elusive defense as well by Freitas.
Yeah, he's showing a lot of good head movement, not keeping his head stationary, so the punches, even when they catch him, they're grazing. But he's learned how to box. He's coming to his own. The confidence factor's high.
He really wants to be known as the people's champion. He wants to try to get the same recognition here in the States that he gets in Brazil, but it's going to be tough.
You don't want to
Give me that in his head, baby. Come on.
You just want to fight, man. You don't want to win. Huh?
You just want to come out and not get knocked out.
You got to go get him. You got to go get him, Daniel.
You got to go get him, man.
You got but 2 rounds. You got to go get him, Daniel.
We can't win it on the decision, Daniel.
You got to take chances now. You got to go get him. They ain't going to give you nothing. Hey, the referee didn't dog you all night, Daniel. You got to go get him, Daniel.
This tie is yours, baby. Come on. What are you waiting for?
Take a look at that punch that went south of the border. Yeah, that was pretty clean, pretty low. Slapping shot didn't look like much. And Attah didn't go down right away. It took a couple of minutes and thought about it, then went down and took a knee. I really don't think that blow had any significant impact in the region that it hit.
Seconds out, let's go.
Acelino Freitas has won almost every round. No knockdowns thus far. Freitas penalized 1 point at the 125 mark of round 10 by the ref.
You heard Attah's corner saying, what, you just don't want to get knocked out? You just want to survive? You don't want to win. You're not trying to win. That's exactly what I've been saying for the past 5 rounds.
It is round 11 for the WBA, WBO 130-pound titles held by Acelino Freitas in the green with gold and blue. Freitas, relentless, non-stop with his punching, and all action type. And we see his entire repertoire. Rights, lefts, uppercuts, jabs.
Go ahead, fight.
And you notice Freitas still going to the body, not forgetting the body, and I think that's what neutralized Daniel Attah so quickly. He got hurt to the body, got weak to the body, hurt his legs, and he didn't want to punch. He was afraid of getting hit to the stomach.
Well, it's interesting. We may see Acelino Freitas' 3rd consecutive distance fight after 29 straight knockouts.
All of the fights are still wins. There's the important factor.
And this the easiest of the 3. I think that's pretty safe to say.
Very safe to say.
Left hand grazing blow there by the prophet, Daniel Attah.
But even at that, he hit Freitas a clean, straight left hand. Try and get some momentum. Follow it up with a right hook and another left hand. See what's going on. Maybe you got a shot.
Midway 11. Attah has a little gas, but not much. He's almost running on empty. Looks like he's trying.
Daniel, watch that head.
Although they were complaining in the corner that he's just in there to survive and not to win. That's his own corner. But I think he's just fatigued. Blood left side of Freitas' face. But again, inconsequential.
So you notice that every time Freitas comes in, Attah puts his head straight down. And it's very awkward for Freitas to even aim for a place because his head's there. And he's walking in with his head face first many times himself as he opens up the punch. A notorious headbutting situation.
A systematic, surgical-like performance here by the champion Freitas, who now dances away from Attah, eluding a right hand. And the crowd showing its displeasure. They want more action here. They want Freitas to attack. Freitas is staying away. He's playing keep away right now. Every once in a while, throws the jab.
This is a round, though, well, due fairness, that Attah might well have won.
Freitas just waiting for his openings there, and he knows he's way ahead. So there's no reason to risk anything. And he doesn't care what the crowd thinks.
Stop.
At this point.
Very beautiful. I like it. I like it. You're showing you are a master. Excellent. Excellent. A lot of air. Now what I want, Popo, when you have a step, he's out of balance. Beautiful, beautiful, excellent.
Last round.
Yes, but watch the head, please.
I know, I could.
Guy's more tired than you are.
Yeah.
My man,
Go at him,
let's win
Daniel.
this fight. Throw everything you got. You got nothing to lose.
He's the champion. You want to get the title, right? Let's jump on it.
Last round. Last round. Shake hands in the center. And Daniel, watch that head. You got that head too low when you're coming in.
Okay. Last minute, 3 minutes.
Freitas acknowledging the crowd on the left of your screen. Attah from the right. They bang gloves to begin the 12th and final round.
Well, Attah's corner said, let it all hang out. You have nothing to lose.
A dominating performance by Acelino Freitas.
I really have a sneaky suspicion he'll try a little bit, but not let it all hang out. He wants to stay on his feet and finish this on his feet. There's a certain amount of honor in that, and I do understand it.
He has been down a couple of times, a few times in his career, coming back to win all of those fights. Freitas continues to take the cautious route here in the latter stages of the fight.
Well, as I was analyzing some of the tapes of Attah, I thought that this might be a difficult fight for, not to win necessarily, but to be real impressive and knock out Attah for Freitas, especially if we got past the first 2 or 3 rounds, and turns out I was correct.
Have you ever been incorrect?
The last time I was wrong was when I thought I was wrong and I was still right.
And you hear again the crowd reaction to the tact being taken by the champion.
But it's smart. He's so far ahead. He can't lose the fight except by knockout. This kid doesn't have the type of power to knock him out. It would be foolish for him to fight just for no reason.
Why put himself in jeopardy when he knows he's extremely ahead on the scorecard? Now he presses forward, but missing wildly. Crowd of about 2,500 on hand. Freitas with about 6, 7, 8 shots in a row unanswered. Finally, Attah hands one back to him. Freitas scoring well with the jab as well. He comes in with his head.
Hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it.
Freitas giving Attah a little taste of his own medicine there for a moment. That punch was blocked by Freitas. I'm impressed with Freitas' defense here as well as his offense.
He's moving nicely, but again, there's a guy right now that can't hurt him. He's shown that he has a pretty good chin. He has excellent power. He's way ahead.
Hold it, hold it, hold it.
Smart but boring right now in this last round.
Acelino, let him go.
40 more seconds.
Come on.
Attah's corner waving him on feverishly. They are frenetic.
I got it. I got it. Come on.
Under 30 seconds in the 12th and final round for 2 world titles. And it's Attah going backwards, which is difficult to understand. Freitas hearing the mixed reaction from the crowd. And then he ends with some action. And that's it. An easy victory for Acelino Freitas. Won just about every round. And now he exults. And you hear the boos from many of the members of this crowd here in the Dodge Theater.
Well, Steve, it's not the kind of fight they can get too excited about. A lot of holding, a lot of running, a lot of moving, especially toward the very end. Once he's way ahead, Acelino over the last 2 rounds decides, you know, as long as I don't get knocked out, I can't lose. All right, it's safe, but it's a little bit boring.
Yep, and now he is draped in the Brazilian flag. Hugs all around. That is Oscar Suarez with the team nutritionist. And talking to his family, and there comes Eliana back into the arena. Very emotional, as you can see, being escorted in after being unable to watch the actual fight itself. She was there for the pre-fight introductions, and now she'll be there for the end. But she just can't watch her husband being hit.
No,
he wasn't hit that much.
My ex-wife, when we were married, actually couldn't watch any of my fights up until the very end of our marriage, and she finally did watch 1 or 2.
Was that in the house or in the ring?
It was in the living room.
So Acelino Freitas gets together now with Daniel Attah in peace for the first time. this evening. The engaging Cleveland Burgess, the manager there in the middle of Daniel Attah, also in the corner, working with Mark Johnson. Johnson on the left with the hat backwards. Freitas trying to improve his English. He speaks obviously Portuguese, being from Brazil. Really good guy. Very
rumor is that he also
easygoing.
speaks Spanish.
Very good. And trying to learn English as he goes along. And now he finally greets his wife, and the fans go wild in the crowd. Look at that emotion there. Smack, pow, right in the kisser.
I like it. You'd rather get those shots in the kisser than the other ones. Trust me.
You read my mind. So an elated Acelino Freitas goes the distance for the third straight time. And he's back on that cell phone, no doubt, talking to Dad and maybe other members of his family back in Brazil. Just like we saw in the dressing room before the fight. You know what he's saying in Portuguese? Can you hear me now?
I guess he can now.
Can you hear me now? Inside the ropes with Bobby Ches.
All night long, Acelino Freitas able to work the body, work his way in. Big body shots, a lot of right hands. Left hands as well, but the right hand was much more effective, I think. Uppercut, back to the body, back to the body. Up top, back to the body. He was able to mix it up at will, throwing those body shots, landing, I think, severely weakening the challenger, Daniel Attah.
And we're just about set for the official decision, and let's send it up to our ring announcer, Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 12 rounds of action, we have a unanimous decision. All three judges, Raul Kais, Guy Jutras, and Chris Wilson, score the bout exactly the same, 117 to 110. All three in favor of the winner, the undefeated WBO and WBA 130-pound champion of the world, Acelino Popo Freitas.
A convincing unanimous decision for Acelino Freitas, now 32-0.